Hello, welcome back. This is the fourth video in our series where we explore how to reclaim our power, align with our true self in order to create a life filled with meaning, happiness, and balance. So in the second video, we talked about the magician and the awakening of our deeper power. And in the third video, we explored the consequence of the end of the cycle with the Wheel of Fortune, which reflects the choices we make in alignment with our higher self. So today we move deeper into the journey of self-realization. So this video is all about connecting with our higher wisdom that's within us, the part of us that already knows the answer even if our conscious mind might not. So as usual, I will be using the symbolism of the tarot and numerology in order to have a visual and help us understand. But first, hi, if you're new here, I'm Aline, I'm a therapist and I'm the creator of The Soul Review on Instagram, where I help now over 70,000 beautiful souls heal from dysfunctional family dynamics, toxic relationships, and encounter with narcissists. So if you would like to check me out, I will leave you a direct link in the text box down below. But if you are ready to explore how to access the sacred wisdom within yourself and align with your higher self, let's dive in. The High Priestess, card number 2 in the tarot, represent a profound shift in our spiritual journey, while the Magician is all about creation and mastering the tools that we've been given. The High Priestess invites us to turn inward and explore the unseen, the intuitive, and the mystical aspect of life. So this is where the spiritual journey deepens. The Magician has awakened to his power, but the High Priestess reminds the Magician that true mastery comes from balance, knowing when to act and when to reflect, when to seek answers outside and when to trust our inner guidance. So think of the High Priestess as the bridge between the conscious and the subconscious mind. She stands at the threshold of wisdom, guiding the mysteries of life that can only be accessed through stillness and inner awareness. So in numerology, number 2 represents balance, partnership, and duality. It teaches us that life is not about either or, but about both ends. The High Priestess teaches us to honor both logic and intuition, light and shadow, action and rest. The number 2 also reminds us of the importance of connection, not just connection with others, but also with ourselves. Are we connected to our deeper truth, or are we being led solely by external expectation? Often we prioritize other people's advice, but in fact, does it truly apply to us? Are they us? Are their wishes the same as ours? Is their sensitivity the same as ours? Is their vision of happiness the same as ours? So the High Priestess reminds us that we need to pause and listen. The answers we seek can only be found in silence, in trusting the subtle voice of our inner higher self. So how do we embody the energy of the Higher Priestess or our higher self, you call it however you want, in our own lives? So first, we create stillness. In a world that is all about movement and busyness, stillness seems to be quite revolutionary. But meditation, journaling, simply taking a few quiet moments each day can truly help us access our inner guidance. Simply by making a stop, getting out of this energy of doing and simply being. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that every day in my stories, I put you a reminder to breathe. And this is the reason why. It's a reminder to reconnect to your inner self. Secondly, learn to listen and trust your intuition. We've been conditioned to dismiss our gut feelings, but our intuition is such a powerful guide. You can start small. Notice the moment when your instinct guides you towards something or away from it. The more you listen, the more you live in alignment, the clearer it becomes. Experience creates mastery. Third, honor the unknown. The High Priestess reminds us that we don't need to have all the answers right now. Trust that clarity will come in its own time. Sometimes not knowing, it's part of the journey. Lastly, balance action with reflection. As we've seen earlier with the Magician and with the Wheel of Fortune, action creates an impact, a ripple effect. So before we are acting, it's valuable to take a moment and reflect. Before taking a decision, take time to connect with your inner self and ask yourself, does this align with my truth, with my values? Your higher self isn't just about personal intuition. It's also about aligning with the higher wisdom of the universe. We should embrace and trust the flow of life and recognize that there is a divine or a mathematical order to everything. And we need to learn to embrace what's happening even when it doesn't make sense at first. As long as we respected that our action align with our truth, we can simply release and trust the process. Our higher self asks us to move beyond surface level thinking and dive into the depth of our being. When we connect with this higher wisdom, we start to see life from a broader perspective, looking at life like from a bird eye view, taking height to observe a broader vision. We stop reacting and we start responding with clarity, with compassion, and with purpose. So life is not only about us, but it's also about the impact that we have on the universe or on the collective. The High Priestess is card number 2. 2 is us in connection to others. Our higher consciousness is aware that we live amongst other people and that our action impacts the whole system. We embrace a life in which we live in alignment with a higher purpose. We don't do to others what we don't want to be done to us. If the Magician is in the energy of doing, active, the High Priestess is in the energy of being, passive. And together, they teach us that growth is a balance of both. You remember in the beginning I said 2 is about balance. So we find this balance again. So it's about being and doing. Now, if we look at step 2 in the second cycle, which starts with the Wheel of Fortune, what we see is that we have justice. Wait, I will put it like this so we can see the Wheel of Fortune. So this is, as you can see, number 2, 1 and 1 from the second cycle. Now, if we go to the third cycle, which we've seen start with the Sun, the second step is judgment. So we see that's how we operate from our higher self leads to justice and then judgment. Observe that there is a whole cycle between justice and judgment, between karma and consequences, the way we shine. We often wonder why things take time, but it's simply because we have the ability to correct ourselves, to realign. But if we don't bring justice, if we don't realign with the collective consciousness, then the judgment comes. So, in conclusion, the High Priestess teaches us that the answers we seek are in fact already within us. So, by creating stillness, trusting our intuition, living in alignment, meaning grounding our higher self, making choices that align with what we want to create and bring to life, and by honoring the unknown, we unlock a deeper connection to ourselves and the collective. As we move through our journey, remember, true power doesn't come just from action, but from alignment. When we trust our inner wisdom, we create a life that reflects our highest truth. In the next video, we will explore the Empress, which is card number 3, and it will show us how we can bring abundance, and we will observe how the flow of creativity always runs when we align with our higher self. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to know when the next video will be live. And leave a moon in the comments to represent the sacred wisdom of the High Priestess. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that it was insightful and inspiring to you. Until next time, take care.